In 2003, Rejane was suffering from depression.
All of a sudden, in the middle of a conversation, I started to cry. It was a desperate cry. I couldn't control myself and stop crying. I wouldn't eat. I had lost the zest for food. I would go to my room and I would be alone. I had even forgotten how to prepare my food. I didn't even know how to use a pressure cooker. I just wanted to die. I just wanted to jump off a building. I looked around to find the tallest buildings that I could enter. I would go up the last floor and jump off the roof because I wanted to die. And every time I set out to do that, to look for a building downtown, I would end up passing by the Grace of God church. Then I would go in and I would sit down near the church ushers and they would come talk to me. Oftentimes there was no service in progress, but the church was open all the time. I had been baptized and my mother was already attending the Grace of God church.
And then I started to sponsor God's work.
They handed out a small bag and one day I got one and there was a Bible, the book, the name of Jesus, and a CD. I worked as a cleaning lady where the owners were doctors.
One day I received a phone call from the house where she worked, from the other maid they had. She was desperate because my daughter was on the windowsill about to jump from there. And then they told me to take her to a certain hospital.
A hospital for the mentally troubled.
When we got there, she was desperate, you know.
Then God showed me what would become of me. This will be your future if you do not seek me. This will be your future if you accept the situation. I looked at my mom and said, "Mom, let's go. I just don't want to be here." She grabbed the arm. We got out. We went to the bus stop. Then her cell phone rang.
It was the other maid, her co-worker. She said their boss was telling her to go to another hospital because she had found her a place.
At that moment, I got rid of that madness, that despair, that misery to a spa. In the other hospital, God opened my heart so that He would be able to work in my life. When I realized that I had to stay at the hospital, I cried a lot. That was all I did. Then on the second or third day, my mother would visit me there every day. I said, "Mom, please bring me the book I was given at the church." The other day, she brought me the book. I would read that book the whole day while I was awake. And I stayed at the hospital for 20 days. And I read that book in 20 days.
When she left the hospital, I took her to the Grace of God church.
And I gradually began to get better. In 5 months, I was ready and prepared to be a worker in the Lord's field. In 2005, I was completely delivered from depression. I became joyful and happy. Today I am perfectly happy.
Today she has joy of living. She's very dynamic. She's very active. She cooks delicious dishes. She bakes cakes.
Today she shows the love of Christ. She acts in a way that people want to have that too. The grace, the happiness, the peace. We work in the women's group, and she's an usher at the church. And she's always ready to smile, to lead people to Christ. Truly to God, she says, just as He did in my life, He is ready to do in yours.
Today, Rejane is retired. She walks around town joyfully. She's fulfilled and thankful to her mother, who's a faithful sponsor and provided a new life for her daughter.
I thank her because if it wasn't for her, and also because of the faith that she has and obtained here at the church, maybe I wouldn't be here today.
Today she is happy. I'm sure she is happy today.
Today I'm complete. I'm happy. Thanks be to God.